And he went in the ways of his father Methuselah, perfect and upright with the Most High. And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Most High in those days.
So people started going away from the law, read.
As they multiplied upon the face of the earth with sons and daughters, and they taught one another their evil practices, and they continued sinning against the Most High.
And those evil practices are discussed in detail in the book of Enoch, how the angels came and taught men war and different actions that meant death. Read.
Verse 17. And every man made unto himself a god.
So then people started following other gods, new religions, opposed to the God who created Adam. Read.
And they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor as well as his relative.
Go ahead.
And they corrupted the earth.
And they corrupted the whole earth. Go ahead.
And the earth was filled with violence.
And was filled with violence.
Verse 18. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men.
Now we know their judges and rulers are the same sons of God in Genesis 6. That links to 2 Peter 2 and 4, which are the angels. Read.
And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force
and
from
took
their
their
husbands.
wives by force. So they was committing adultery. Go ahead.
And took their wives by force from their husbands, according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field.
So they took the cattle of the earth and the beasts of the field and did what?
And the fowls of the air.
And the fowls of the air and made what?
And taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other.
So they started interspecies technology and science. So that's your saber-toothed tigers, your Tyrannosaurus rexes, your dinosaurs. The flood destroyed them. Now how do we know this? They found bones of dinosaurs on high mountains, and dinosaurs' legs could not have them climb high mountains. So the water took their bodies or bones afloat, and when the waters receded, the bones settled on those high plains, proving to you that the flood happened. So yes, they created those types of animals to consume us. It tell you that in Genesis 6 that once we could no longer sustain them, they began to consume or eat us. They was using animals. We were their game. They were dealing with cannibalism and all that. Read.
And taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other.
They started mixing animals. Same thing today, brothers and sisters. They showed one picture where they have a chicken growing out of a strawberry. It was a strawberry with a chicken feather coming out of it. Now, who would mix strawberries with a chicken? As in the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Mixing salmon with tomatoes. Who would do this? Monsanto. Same thing. Read.
And taught the mixture of animals with one species with the other.
Which is against the Most High. He made every animal perfect the way as they was made from the beginning. Adam named all the animals. They were in their perfection. There was no need for anyone to come in and figure that they need to make another species and start mixing animals with animals, because these were hybrid creations that would turn on mankind. Read.
In order therewith to provoke the Lord.
They did this to provoke the Most High. Why? Because Satan have a problem with the Most High. He was kicked from the heavenly realm, and now his actions is to destroy the creation of the Most High. Read.
And the Most High saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon earth, all man and all animals.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. And the Most High said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth, yea, man to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them.
So it tell you in the book of Jasher, when you read further, that eventually the Most High had the animals that were not touched by these beings. He preserved some of the animals. And he didn't have Noah go out and search for them. He sent them to him. And the animals that crouched before Noah, he knew to let them in the ark. Period. So he didn't have to go searching for animals. The Most High sent him the animals to preserve his creation beyond the flood. Also, it tells you that these same hybrid beings, these Nephilim and the fallen angels, taught women potions to stop them from having children, to keep their stomach, to keep their shape. It tells you that. The same technology they give you today, birth control. All that was before the flood. Why should you have birth control when the Most High commanded from the beginning to be fruitful and multiply? It's also a part of this thwarted agenda under Satan against the Most High's natural creation. Now, let's go back to Genesis. And we're going into the next phase of the spirit of homosexuality after the flood. Okay? Let's get Genesis, the 19th chapter. Abram, or Abraham, you know him as today, had a cousin named Lot. Now, what we're speaking of is Sodom and Gomorrah. And you can research this in secular history. For those who don't know about Sodom and Gomorrah, there's a favorite on our channel now, I think, that you can go to prove that this story actually happened. There's ashes all in the area where Sodom and Gomorrah, the great city, once was. It looks like the whole city was placed in an oven. So you can claim the Bible is not real, but if you go to Sodom and Gomorrah, you'll see the ashes from the destruction based on a certain lifestyle that Satan promoted at that time. Now, let's get Genesis 19, and we're going to read a little quick through this because I don't want to make this a story strictly on Sodom and Gomorrah. That's a teaching in itself. But we're going to bring out key points in this chapter. Read.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
So these angels were sent by the Most High God himself. Read.
Verse 2. And he said, Behold, now my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
So he wanted the angels to come in. And the Bible tells us in Hebrews that we have to watch how we entertain angels, because entertain strangers, because some have entertained angels unawares. So he wanted to show good hospitality and treat them right. But they say, no, we're going to walk around this city, Sodom and Gomorrah, and see what's going on here. We're going to walk around. Read.
Verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat.
Go ahead.
But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round passed the house round, both old and young, all people from every quarter.
Go ahead.
And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night?
So there were people watching all the houses around about, to the point where they knew everything that was going down in the city. You notice how they're trying to get everyone watched now to know where everyone was? Here it is. Those angels weren't with Lot too long, and the homosexuals in the city knew he was there, knew they were there, and say, well, where are those two guys? So why did they want to know who was coming to Lot's house? What concern was it of them? Let's see. Read.
And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night?
Go ahead.
Bring them out unto us.
Bring them to us.
That we may know them.
That we may know them. What did they want to do? They wanted to have sex with these two angels, whom at that time they thought was regular men. So homosexuality got so rampant in this particular city that it was just open for them to just knock on the door and say, listen, it's time for you to give up those guys there. And see, that sexual thing they're dealing with is sadistic on the highest level, and they use it in all parts of society to oppress the Most High's creation. That's why you can't go to a jail anywhere, even in jail. They harbor that spirit in jail. That's part of the spirit of being in there. The different religions, the homosexual lifestyle, all of that was part of the psyche of those who created those jails. That's a part of Satan's program. So now they're going to use this, they're going to use brute force to force people into this lifestyle. And let me tell you, homosexuality is no more subtle. Now it's up forth. Now they're being aggressive with this. At first it was about, well, just let us live and we was bullying. It's not about that at all. They have become the bullies. They've always been the bullies. Behind closed doors. They just put on a suit and a tie and a dress. But through their legislation, they've always been the bullies. Don't believe what you're seeing out there and what they're portraying. We're showing you in the scriptures the spirit that comes with them if you allow them to run rampant in society and give them full autonomy to exercise this lifestyle amongst people. Read.
Verse 6. And Lot went out at the door unto them.
And Lot went out to the door to them and did what?
And shut the door after him.
And shut the door after him and did what?
And said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have 2 daughters which have not known man.
He says, listen, I got 2 daughters who have not known man. He was willing to give up his daughters in an agreement for them before they profane the Most High and profane these angels. Read.
Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes.
Go ahead.
Only unto these men do nothing.
Go ahead.
For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came.
So they said, listen, just stand back. Now he was offering them an opportunity to be straight, to do things righteously. Here's an opportunity. You a man. Listen, take a woman, marry a woman, do what the Most High set up from the beginning. They said, Lot, you better get out of the way. So this is the aggressiveness that's come with them. And let me tell you, it's a lot of young ladies in schools till this day that are being bullied by female lesbians. And you'll never see this in the media. They on the basketball teams and all that, on the football teams, pressing young ladies into their lifestyle, jumping them and beating them. And you'll never see the media look at this. Why? They're letting them loose on society, the same as Sodom and Gomorrah. And there's a purpose behind it. We're going to show you that purpose in a moment. The elite and the governing powers who are controlling your society loves this. Why? Because this is them. These are those who Satan elected to run society. He have handpicked these. I'm going to show you. Why? Because that is what he is. Read.
Verse 9. And they said, stand back.
They said, listen, Lot, you better get out of the way.
And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee.
So now